It was a glorious day yesterday for Swallows FC. A long-awaited and anticipated return to the top flight of South African football finally came to pass after they lifted the Glad Africa Championship trophy, the inaugural trophy under its new guys, under the new sponsors. And with that, it means they will be in the, well, what we now call the Absa Premiership. It will be, of course, under a new sponsor next season. But I've got their chairman, David Mogashoa, joining me now live. David, I probably shouldn't be asking you this, but your reaction immediately as the final whistle went yesterday.
My reaction was madness. I was crazy, I was happy, I was excited. You know, not for me, but for all the faithful Solo supporters that have been with the club for a very long time, even when the club did not play any football, you know. So we were happy for all of them and happy that they stayed behind the team and supported the team, even when the team did not exist. So now it's their moment to shine.
And you played a vital role alongside the likes of Panyaza Lesufi in that success, David. Just give us what it has taken from 2015 when the team went down and then went down immediately the next season into the non-professional ranks.
You know, a big credit must go to MEC Lesufi, because when the team was going down, he was the one that was, bankrolling the team from his credit cards, his policies, his everything, you know. And when he eventually ran out, he said, he came to me and says, because he called me Weshu, said, Weshu, I can't do this anymore. Please come in and help because these people want the team back. So, I reluctantly, agreed, but I'm glad that the team is where it is today because he had a vision, he knew that the team would get somewhere. It's a strong team with a very rich history that could not just disappear. So a big credit to him. He made sure that the bed survives. When the beds were not playing any football, he made sure that the name stayed there. The guy kept talking about Solos even when Solos did not have any players on his books. So he kept the flame burning. So it's all credit to him.
And what do you attribute this to, David? Because we've seen a lot of clubs relegated, great clubs as Swallows is in South African football, but they just don't come back. They seem to get stuck in the lower divisions. But what do you attribute this success to for your side?
Benji, when in football is like business. I remember when it was announced that I'm part of Solos and I'll be the chairperson of Solos, people were asking, have you played football? What is your experience with football? You don't need experience you don't have to have played football to be leading football. It's like business. As long as you understand football and you are surrounded by people that understand football and you understand business, you can do it. So for us, it was very important that we take decisive decisions at the right time. When Coach Truta came in, we were at position 14. And when we asked the previous coach to step aside after 5 games, people were saying, I'm too quick. I'm now playing as a junior. I'm taking decisions now quick. They had to be taken, those decisions. If we didn't at that time, Swallows would be fighting for relegations now. So it was important that the decision was taken at the right time. Coach came in at the right time. But more importantly, when you bring in a coach, that coach must be allowed to run the club from the team's perspective. He must be able to select his own team and do his own thing. If he wants players, he must be supported. Because there is no point in bringing a coach and then you fiddle with his lineups and all that. So you bring in a coach, you let him do his own thing, but monitor his performance. Because if he doesn't perform, it is the club's money that's going to go down the drain. So the performance must be monitored, but the coach must be allowed to do his job.
And you've been here in our studios before, David. You sounded very confident at the time, but going into the bio bubble, you guys were not in prime position. In fact, Ajax Cape Town looked like the one on the money to come back automatically into the top division. Did you think during the coronavirus break that this was even possible? Or was it a case of getting to the playoffs?
Benji, the primary goal was getting to the playoffs, but it was also possible for us because Ajax still had to play us. Ajax still had to play TTM, and Ajax still had to play JDR. So we knew that it was not going to happen. Remember, there were talks that the league must be cancelled. That talk came from where there was a suggestion that Ajax must sit at home and watch TV, and then Solos and Utongati must then go to the playoffs. That was a bad suggestion because TTM is now in the playoffs. So we said there's no way that we can do that, sit at home and watch the games, because there's no guarantee that Ajax will win all the games. And then it was proven. They've lost 3 games. We caught up with them, and then we won the league based on goal superior. So that was very important that the league continued. So the cancellation of the league came about when it was suggested. So it was either we all play or we don't play. So no selection of who must play and who must wait. We all play or we don't play. It was as simple as that.
And in the same breath as clubs going down and struggling to come back, we've seen clubs move up into the top division and then straight away relegated. What's the dream for Swallows now? Is it to survive and stay afloat? Is it to get into the top 8? And it might be even too early to ask this, but do you even dare to dream, David, about lifting the trophy in the top division?
You know, before we even get there, a big thank you must go to the PSL chairman, Dr. Khoza. He provided leadership when we were all arguing about must we resume and must we not. So he stood firm and he provided leadership. And we are where we are today. The league has resumed. And we can now talk about what we are about to get to now, that what we want in the PSL. As Swallows, we don't want to put anyone under pressure. We don't want to put our players under pressure. We don't want to put management or the coach under pressure. What we want is that Swallows must stay in the PSL. The first season, we must stay in what we call a safe zone. We must be there and then make sure that we are stable in the PSL. Then we can start fighting for what we want to get. Just like we did in the Glad Africa Championship. We didn't go there and say we want to move the league, win the league immediately. We wanted to stabilize and just stay within the top 8. It is the same thing that we are going to take into the PSL, that we go in there, stay in the safe zone. If we get an MTN 8 or something, that will be nice for our supporters. But we want the team to play good football and be consistent. That's what we want.
The players have played a very big role. The likes of Cheeseboy Lebohang Mokoena, who has been a superstar in the country's football, and he had to start over. And there's a couple of experienced guys and some of the young guys in your team. Surely there's a nice bonus coming through in the coming months.
Benji, I must say, for us to have done so well, I think Swallows is one of the teams that has stayed the longest in the bio bubble, because when there was talk of resumption of football, we immediately put our players in the camps and all this, and that has cost a lot of money. I think we have done more COVID tests than any other team in the PSL. And it was more important to have guys like Cheeseboy, Vuyo, Freeze, Bengu, the senior guys that have been there in the PSL, because this bio bubble started affecting our players mentally, that, we've been in this place for so long, we miss our family, we want to go home. So we did well because our players were now used to the bubble. Now other teams are only now adjusting to the bubble, and it's too late. So it was important that these players stay there and then they monitor the youngsters and give them guidance. Hence, we are saying, because of that sacrifice that they've made, the 3 million rand that they've won, the club is getting nothing. That money goes to the team. Every single cent of it goes to the team.
Oh, wow. That's a big revelation there, David. So the players are getting the entire winnings, the prize money. 3 million rand will be shared amongst the squad of Swallows FC. You heard it first here on Newzroom Afrika. And David, I must say, I've also been inundated with a couple of disgruntled fans that want to know where the Swallows offices are to get forms to sign on since you guys are back. They're not too happy with their teams. But we'll leave that for some other day. Thank you so much for your time.
Now you are being political. All right, thank you, Benji.
Thank you so much. That's David Mogashoa. He is the chairman of Swallows FC, who have been promoted back to the Premier Division here in South Africa. They'll be playing top flight football next season. And that big revelation, the players will be sharing the entire 3 million.